You like that? You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I am back for another breakdown. So today we are going to get started with our draft coverage, doing our draft profiles, mostly of the DBs, and we're going to kick this thing off with Christian Gonzalez. So he's the guy that's been getting the most hype that I feel like I've heard. Not necessarily people saying he's the best, but he's gotten the most hype. You know, transferred from Colorado to Oregon, and a lot of people really like him. And when I first started watching his tape, like not really like going in watching the All-22, I was like, I'm not really that impressed. Like everybody's all hyped up on this dude. But I'm not going to give you my final verdict just yet. But I will say now that I've got an opportunity to really watch his film, my opinion is a little bit more nuanced. So let's jump right into this thing, okay? So we got Christian Gonzalez right here up at the top of the screen. And so he's in press coverage. And one of the things that I really like about him is he's so patient in press. A lot of guys will just open the gate, right? Big corner, 6'2", 200 pounds, right? So he should be a good press man corner. And part of what makes him so good is his patience in his press, right? He doesn't open the gate too early and forces the wide release from the receiver, okay? And so the other thing I want you to notice about this, and we'll see it as the tape continues to go on, he does this weird thing where in press, he lines up so far off the ball, right? And so I'm not in their film room, and, I'm not, I don't know exactly what they're coaching him and telling him to do. But if you look at the other corner most of the time, this guy's in press and he's in a good spot, right? So what I like to tell my DBs is I like to tell them, do what the receivers do. Check with the ref. Make sure that you're on sides and get as close as you possibly can, okay? But he lines up pretty far off, but it doesn't matter because his technique is good. He stays in this guy's hip pocket, gets hands on, and this is one thing that I really, really like. You see this a lot on his film, okay? So I was talking to my head coach, my defensive coordinator the other day, and we're talking about, fade ball defense, how we want to play our technique, and he does something that I really like with big, long, physical corners. He plays it at the top of the route, chest to chest, right? I don't really like that with smaller corners. I won't go too deep into the reasons for that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it when we get to some of the smaller DBs. But I like it when the big physical corners play chest to chest on a fade ball. You got those long arms. You can lock guys out. You can be physical. I really like it. And he consistently gets back to square. So that's the first rep. Good job in press right there, all right? Now, we always talk about on this channel the corner's ability to tackle and leverage blocks. And remember last year, I was not as high on Kaiir Elam in that aspect of his game. And it showed up this season that he had some troubles and some struggles with leveraging blocks against NFL receivers. Well, Christian Gonzalez is pretty damn good on the stock block, okay? So on this play right here, they're running this little jet sweep action here. And so they come out in 12 personnel, and they got this wing formation here, right? So tight end wing, they go with the jet sweep here, and I really like what he does here, okay? A lot of guys might try to run down in here and blow this thing up and try to be fast and be physical and all that stuff. He does a good job of stringing this thing out and making it widen, okay? So he forces the play to get wider, and the reason why that's important is they have a numbers advantage with blockers, right? So there's a ball carrier, but they've got 3 on 2 blockers here, okay? So they got the numbers advantage, and if he strings it out, now the pursuit, the cavalry, we're getting more guys out here. It's a good job of doing that, getting it down here, getting involved in it, right? Keeping that hard edge, not letting it get outside of him, and then helping make the tackle here. And look, it's only a 2-yard gain. It's a great job. Great job, okay? So again, right? Press, look at how far off the ball he is. He's almost at linebacker depth, right? I don't know. This seems like something where he's just like not aware of his alignment, or it could be a thing where he's coached to do this. I don't know, but it's just something that I've seen on a consistent basis. All right. So here he opens the gate a little bit too early for my liking, but I think it's because they're in quarters coverage, and we've talked about this a million times on this channel. When you get quarters, it turns into a man, right? So this safety is going to be man on the tight end. He's going to be man on the receiver here when you get the tight end over here. And what the safety can do when he's man on this tight end is he can play it flat-footed and read, right? Is it run? If it's run, I'm going to get downhill quickly. If it's pass and he stays in and blocks, or he goes out or something, he's buzzing his feet, and it closes this post window here, right? So I think Christian Gonzalez is opening the gate here because he knows he's got this help, right? He's got this help inside if it's any kind of post or whatever. So he's trying to funnel him to the sideline and cut him off, use his speed to cut him off, all right? And so the reason why I show you this one is because 6'2", right? Long corner, long legs, long arms. Look at the fluidity in the hips, right? He transitions and makes this move, and no speed is lost. No wasted movement. Very efficient with his feet. Let's just watch it run. Bang, right? He's on top of that thing. They end up bracketing it, and then the safety comes off because the over route comes. But look, on top of the route, sticky to routes, no separation. Great job. All right, next play here, okay? So, press coverage. This time, much better alignment, right? Much better alignment, much closer to the receiver, okay? And so, here, I really like this one because technique here, right? So, patient in his press. Look at how patient he is. Look at how active his feet are. And then look at the hands. I love this, man. The arm bar at the top of the route, getting into him, and then what does he do again? Get back square to the line of scrimmage. That's a really good job, okay? Ends up being a touchdown, but that's not on him. Not on him. Good job there, all right? So now, this one, he's in a bail, right? So press bail. And I show you this one again, right? Big corner, okay? So he's bailing. He's trying to stay on top of this route. Receiver gets into his blind spot. Second he gets into his blind spot, bang, spins back around, speed turns, and is on top of the route. Big corner with this ability to transition. We're just going to run it through so you can see. Look at his ability to transition. On top of that thing, bang, he's in my blind spot. I'm on top of him. It's a great job. Great job. All right. So now I got him at the top of the screen here. Patient in his pedal, right? Again, protecting the inside, right? Look at his weave steps. It's really good. Hips, shoulders, square to line scrimmage, weaving in, right? And then the second he turns, the receiver goes inside. But again, look at the hips. Look at the lightning quick transition, man. We'll just run it so you can see it in real time. Look at those hips. Turns, bang, gets back around. No wasted movement. And then watch his head when he turns, right? Look at his head. His head doesn't have to drop back down because he's already playing with an extremely low base. That is great technique right there. All right. So now we got him at the top of the screen here. And so press coverage. Good job here. Again, being patient. Patient. Right? He wants to release outside. He gets hands on. Again, right? I wish he was a little. Actually, no. He's fine. He's fine here. He's close enough. Right? He gets on top of the route. And so he's in a trail position, right? He's on the back hip of the receiver. Receiver breaks back outside, and he's beat. But this is why you don't listen to the people on the broadcast and on the TV. They're always saying, look back for the ball for DBs. Don't panic. Read the eyes and the hands of the receiver. He gets up there, gets his hands in there, and the receiver juggles it out of bounds, ends up being an incomplete pass. So we'll see this one from the tight. We haven't really had any tight shots here, but this one shows you perfectly, right? Ball's in the air. There's no panic in his game, right? No panic in his game. Very patient. Gets into the body of the receiver, times it up perfectly. Receiver juggles the ball, and it ends up being an incomplete pass. That is really good technique, and it shows that he's not fearful, that he's very calm and relaxed back there. Definitely a trait you want to have in a DB, all right? So last one, they're in cover 2 here, right? So he's a flat player. He does a good job of reading the quarterback's eyes, right? He has a feel that it's going to be quick game, gets his eyes back to the receiver, sees the receiver breaking in. This is one of the hardest things to do in off-man coverage or off cover 2, defend a slant. He gets in there, gets his hands in, and again, that length comes into play. If this is a smaller DB, the receiver does a good job of trying to box him out, but since his arms are so long, he's able to get in there and bat that ball down. All right, so we'll see it one more time from the tight. All right, he gets in there, look at that arm, breaks the pass up. That's a phenomenal job, and a little celebration too. So, that's it for Christian Gonzalez. I'll probably do another video on him later, but safe to say my opinion on him after watching a few games, and I decided to go with this one for the first breakdown. My opinion on him has changed. I definitely think he is a first-round corner for sure. And he might be one of the first cornerbacks taken off the board just because of his physical traits, his size. I'm excited to see the combine. I've heard rumors that he might run a 4.2. So with the speed that we saw in here, that would not shock me. But I want to see how fast he is at the combine. And then I also want to see the length profile, right? They list him at 6'2". Let's see if he really is 6'2". And I want to see how long his arms are, right? That's going to give us a better understanding of how his game is going to translate to the NFL, but he's one I am definitely excited to break down more. So I'll be back with some more DB NFL draft breakdowns, so you're going to want to stick around, subscribe, and share this with your friends. So as always, you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.